Good morning from Jerusalem. I'm at Mount Zion, very, very close to the room of the Last Supper, to the Cenaculum, Cenacle. It's such an important place for me, mainly because a few days ago, Jesus was there in a Passover meal, and that was almost his last prayer. That is where he told the disciples that he will they will catch him today. He will die tomorrow, but he will resurrect 3 days later. And this is the police guy who is taking care of all the of Mount of Olives and Mount Zion and so many other places. Policeman doesn't mean that he must be a Jew, because he's a citizen of Israel, and 20% of the citizens of Israel are not Jews, and he's one of them. But he's a policeman in Israel because he's a citizen of Israel. Rights, equal rights to everyone. Then in that case, Jesus was here. Actually, he wasn't here. He was at Mount of Olives when he told the disciples to prepare his Passover meal here, because you're supposed to do that only inside the city. And Mount of Olives wasn't part of the old city of Jerusalem. Then in that case, they prepare it there, mainly because every citizen of Israel has been asked by God to give a room for free to everyone that comes for the festival. And this is a Jewish festival, one of 3 months that every Jew must be in the city. And in that case, I don't know about you, but I'm not sure that I will give a room for free to anyone who is not part of my family. Then a lot of them gave the upper room as the place for the non-family members. Now, the story is not really about the room of the Last Supper. The story is even not about the things that now are happening. I mean, the disciples are in that room, and they're asking themselves, what should we do? Jesus is not with us anymore. He was crucified. And one of us betrayed him, which is horrible. That was Judas. Then we have to find someone else, because we need to continue with that. Then you can imagine what's happened to them at that moment. And I'm blessing each one of you for being with me in that room. And I'm not even talking about the Last Supper, although for me it's the first church ever. That's where he said, eat the bread, drink that wine. And I'm blessing each one of you, but especially Avanna, which asked me for a Benedict cross. And here it is. Let's enter to the room. That's not the room, this is the entrance. The room is in front of you. Then Avanna, you asked me to bless your cross at the room of the Last Supper. But the Last Supper was gone. I mean, it was like a few days ago. This year, everyone celebrate, all the Christians celebrate together. But now the disciples are here, choosing someone else instead of it. And soon he will resurrect. Actually, he already resurrected because it's Monday. Then he will appear here. He will eat with them. Thomas won't believe him. You have to touch him. That was in that room. And let's enter to the room, but there's a group here that might be a little bit noisy. There's a group of future tour guides in the room. Then I won't be able to talk, but don't worry, Avanna, I'm going to the room soon. But you can hear the bells of the Dormition Church. It's a Benedictus church, and I bought that from the church. Then let's try to figure out what's happening here. Jesus is just appear again. He will be here for the next 40 days. And then he will ascend it from Mount of Olives, which is not so far away from here. But before he ascended to Mount of Olives, he told them, go back to that room. Basically, he wasn't supposed to say it, because they will go back to Jerusalem. The second festival, Shavuot, which is 7 weeks after Passover, will begin, and this is another time that everyone must be in that room. That in that case, the meaning of going back to that room was almost obvious, but they could change their location. But maybe they will find a better location. No, he told them, stay in the same room and wait for a sign from me. The group is still there. Then let me climb up to the roof. And the weather is amazing. And to show you a little bit of Mount of Olives from there, then you will understand how close the room, the Last Supper, Mount Zion, to Mount of Olives. Mount Zion was always at the time of Israel. In 1948, when they established Israel, that was part of the city of Jerusalem. The old city wasn't supposed to be owned by Israel. Oops, almost fell. Not supposed to be owned by the future Palestine. It was supposed to be owned by United Nations. Now let's look at the view. Avanna, far, far away from here, you can see Mount of Olives. It's not so far. It's right there. This is Mount Capos, and you can see one of the synagogues at the Jewish quarter. But even more important, you can see the Dome of the Rock. Can you see it? Now the Dome of the Rock is the foundation stone. It's the Holy of the Holy for the Jews. And at this time, the temple was between 2 to 3 times higher and bigger. Then from that room, you could see the Jewish temple. Let's move a little bit to the east. And you will be able to, oh, what a lovely view. Wow, what a lovely view. Then I don't know if my camera is quite good for that, but behind that minaret, the far, far away, it's the mountains of Moab. Today, Jordan. At the time of let's say Jesus, it was part of Israel. Oh, here you can see it even better. And again, I'm not sure that you can see it. It's above the trees. And Mount of Olives is right in front of you. You can see the white area is the Jewish cemetery from the time of King David until now. But for us, what is important is that tower. That tower symbolizes the place of the ascension. And from there, it told the Jews, go back. It told the disciples, go back to your room and wait for a mission. That will be, let's say, 10 days, around 10 days later. Altogether 49 days, 7 weeks, Pentecost. The disciples were in the room when the Holy Spirit went down with a fire, lots of fire, and it filled the room, and people started to talk in different languages. And the message, Avanna, the message is to spread Christianity all over. And soon we will enter to that room and we'll talk about it. But you can see the Dormition Church, a place that according to tradition Mary fell asleep. Very important place. Beneath us is the tomb of King David. The tomb of Oscar Schindler from Schindler List is here as well. There's so many important sites in that room, but look at that mosque. At the 15th, 16th century, the Jews had the first floor for themselves, the tomb of King David. The Christian had the room of the Last Supper, but no one, they didn't like it. They didn't like each other as well. Then they went to the court of the Muslims to check who's going to hold that building, Christians or Jews. Then the Muslims came to the Jews and say, King David is our prophet, he's not a Jew, go away. And then they climb up to the room of the Last Supper, and they told the Muslims and the Christians, first of all, you are pagans. You believe in the Trinity. Secondly, Jesus is Isa, and Isa is not God, not Son of God. He is a Muslim prophet, not the last one, because the last one was Muhammad. Then go away. And the building became to be a mosque until 1948, until the Israelite. The Israel nation actually was born again after so many years without independence. But it's still the story of Jesus, the disciples, is a story of a Jewish place. Then Israel maybe is young as this version, but 3,000 years old in here, and Jerusalem was the capital of King David. All right, I will try to talk. I hope that you will hear, and I won't disturb Hannah. But what you can see here is a room from, some say 12th century, and some say 15th century. I think it looks like more for me like a Crusader room, then I accept the idea of the 12th century room. It's not the room that Jesus was, Jesus has been here. No, it is. It is, according to the tradition, it was a roof. Then the room doesn't exist. I mean, this is a new thing, but the roof, they stayed on the roof. That's why it's called the upper room. Then where did they actually was waiting for him? Somewhere here, the table. There was no table. The Jews used to sit on the floor just like the Romans at that time. It was a Roman area. I hope that you can hear me. Then in that case, let me show you some evidence from mostly the mosque here. Here you can see the inscription that actually say that Christians are not pagans, believe in so many, the Trinity or whatever, and we took that room and turned it into a holy mosque, and they built here the mihrab, which is facing to Mecca, and look at the windows. Those are not the original windows. The original windows sadly been destroyed a year or 2 years ago by a crazy person. Then Israel renovated it lately, and I do have a video of it actually that mention it. Then Avanna, this is your story, this is your video, and now that cross is 1000% energetic, more than I bought it in the shop. I bought it in the church of the Dormition, which was the church of the Benedicts. The tree that he is standing next to is a present for the Pope. The Pope gave us that present because he actually, just like St. Paul, realized that there is a lot of hate between Christians against Jews. But he said, just like the letter of St. Paul, the Jews are the trunk. If you cut the trunk, the new branches will die. Another important thing that you must understand, that according to the Pentecost, This is the Holy Spirit room. Then in Pentecost, the head of the ceremony goes out from there. And then different languages. People are starting to talk with different languages. And it's beautiful because the ceremony is actually heading here with so many nations. And one by one, everyone pray in their language, including Hebrew, in that room. The message was to spread Christianity all over. Then in that case, Avanna, all over. It means that this is the center of Christianity, right here in Jerusalem, in the room of the Last Supper. Look at that. You can see a bird, a mother bird, who couldn't feed her own chicks with her own flesh. Then she actually say to the chicks, eat my flesh and live. Eat that bread, drink that wine. This is the story of Jesus here, Avanna, in the room of the Last Supper. Such a beautiful place, room of Pentecost. And when you will get that cross home, it will be around Pentecost. And in that case, an energetic cross in an energetic room in Jerusalem. And that makes that video quite an important video. Guys, if you want to have your own cross, no problem at all. Just go into the link. Just press the button of the text and you will find the link of Buy Me a Coffee. From there, you will understand everything. But if you won't find it, send me a message and I will send you the link of it. Thank you very much for being with me. Thank you very much, Avanna. God is with you. Bye-bye.